Hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. Now that October is in the books, the holiday season is starting up. On this episode, I'll be discussing the Festival of Trees at the Berkshire Museum, some Wehry concerts, and a trip to Masmoka. Plus, I'll be reviewing the film Transformers: Rise of the Beasts and taking a history trip to Peru. Massachusetts, that is. First, it's time for this episode's trivia question. This episode's question is, which Peru, Massachusetts native was the first Massachusetts woman to be admitted to any district medical society? Now, for this episode's local headlines. We start in Pittsfield for an update on the Berkshire Museum and its renovations. Revamped plans for the renovations of the first floor of the Berkshire Museum seek to pay homage to its past, while infusing its beloved permanent exhibitions with contemporary fixtures and refreshed gallery spaces. The new design, which will update the entire first floor, its gallery spaces, lobby, museum, and aquarium, will double the size of the aquarium. That will allow for the introduction of new species, including 2 jellyfish tanks, one of which will greet visitors as they enter the museum. The museum will also follow Zenos's Crane's plan for a cabinet of curiosities, expanded in a way that allows for more of the permanent collection to be displayed. This will be the third and final phase of renovations at the 120-year-old museum. The museum's second floor has already undergone a $3.5 million renovation, and repairs and upgrades have been made to the building's sewer lines, foundation, and freight elevator. The cost of the third phase of renovations has yet to be determined. Construction is anticipated to begin in August or September of 2024. Stay tuned to WWHEN for more information. In more current Berkshire Museum news, the 2023 Festival of Trees will be starting soon. This year's theme is nostalgia. The Berkshire Museum is inching closer to its 125th anniversary, so nostalgia is important to the museum as a whole. The festival this year is going to be smaller, with specific details still to be determined. The website, shown here, gives excellent details on this year's event, including how you can sponsor a tree. This will be going on from November 18th through January 7th. Visit berkshiremuseum.org for more information. We will be staying in Pittsfield for our next story, as Berkshire Theatre Group will be hosting 2 events of interest. The first is the documentary film Warren Miller's All Time, narrated by Olympic gold medalist Johnny Mosley, This film features deep dives into the elements that Warren himself first identified as the stuff of which snowy dreams are made of. From the birth of ski towns like Sun Valley and Aspen, to the icons and innovators like the original hot doggers, the film spins through the years like snow ghosts, bringing humor and inspiration from today, including Maine's finest athlete, Donnie Pilliter, to the park scene at Woodward Park City, and the next generation of skiers and riders. Less a documentary than a love letter, it's a way to honor how, where, and with whom we've made ski and snowboard movies since Warren first picked up a camera in 1949. This will be debuting on November 16th. The other event going on is the Wandering Dance Festival. This week-long community dance festival is a vibrant celebration of movement, rhythm, and culture that brings together people of all ages, backgrounds, and abilities. Held throughout downtown Pittsfield, the festival features an eclectic lineup of dance styles, from contemporary and hip-hop to swing and salsa, providing a rich tapestry of artistic expression. Participants have opportunities to engage in free workshops, learn from renowned choreographers, and showcase their talents during open dance sessions. The goal of this festival is to foster a sense of community and inspire connections among neighbors and strangers alike as they move to the beat of life and celebrate the universal language of dance. Wandering Dance Festival culminates in a showcase performance at the Colonial Theater on Saturday, November 18th at 7:30 p.m., featuring local and nationally recognized dance artists. This event promises an unforgettable experience for the entire community. This will be running from November 12th through the 18th. Visit their website at berkshirtheatergroup.org for more information. Our next story takes us to Mass Mocha in North Adams for a performance from Steven Sanchez. With a dusty baritone as bright as an eternally lit jukebox and tattooed fingers around the fretboard of a rare guitar, Steven Sanchez tunes into longing and love with the acuity of a tried and tested troubadour. Yet he's only 20 years old. Transcending eras, he writes songs that can play just as well from parents' record player as they could from the main stage of festivals a la Bonnaroo, which is one of music's most important festivals for young people. This concert will be going on December 3rd. Visit massmocha.org for more information. Next up, we will be visiting the Wehry Theater in Great Barrington for a few events. The first is a dance show with Body Traffic. Los Angeles-based Body Traffic has made waves from coast to coast with its far-reaching appeal. Artistic director Tina Finkelman-Burkett leads a masterful troupe, all nimble interpreters of each choreographer's distinct vision. This absorbing, thought-provoking, and vividly theatrical community assures from its website, quote, "an absolutely joyous and oh so entertaining," end quote, evening of dance. Surprising and unforgettable, Body Traffic is one of the most talked about companies nationwide. They will be performing The Art of Becoming, Recurrence, Snap, and Paco Pepeluto. This show will be performed on November 11th. Also performing at Wehry Theater will be singer Matt Kearney. Nashville-based, Oregon-born, Matt Kearney is back performing at Wehry with January Flower. Written between an isolated retreat in Joshua Tree and his home studio, January Flower sees Kearney in his rawest form, distilling the songwriting process and rediscovering the joy of making music. Over his career, Kearney has released 5 studio LPs, claimed the #1 spot on iTunes, topped multiple Billboard charts, made 4 entries into the Hot 100 for individual singles, amassed over 577 million views on demand streams, and over 2.5 billion global streams. Kearney, a multi-platinum songwriter and producer, has performed on The Today Show, Ellen, The Tonight Show, Letterman, and Jimmy Kimmel Live, and has garnered raves from USA Today, Entertainment Weekly, People, Billboard, Parade, and Marie Claire. He also has an incredible touring history, sharing the road from everyone from John Mayer to Need to Breathe, as well as headlining numerous tours of his own. He will be playing on November 17th. For all the ticket information, visit the Wehry Theater's website at wehry.org/events. Our next couple of stories are about holiday festivals in Berkshire County. The first is the Handmade Holiday Festival, which takes place in Dalton. This is a Berkshire County tradition where over 50 local artisans, makers, and food producers will be highlighting their goods. There will also be live music, delicious food, and children's crafts. This will be going on November 25th through the 26th. It will take place at the Stationery Factory in Dalton on 63 Flansburgh Ave from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. both days. This location is usually also the home to concerts and was previously the home of the Baseball in the Berkshires exhibit I've talked about in the past. Another holiday festive event takes us to Greylock Festive Works Festival in Adams. Set in an expansive, revitalized former mill, this 30,000 square foot open indoor market curates over 80 of the region's best artisan makers. There are limited tickets for this elegant evening of holiday shopping, which includes a festive toast of sparkling hard cider from Berkshire Cider Project. This event will be going on November 17th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Greylock Works. Visit the website shown here for more information. It's now time for this episode's history portion of WWHEN. For this episode, we'll be visiting one of the smallest towns in Berkshire County, Peru, Massachusetts, with a population of just under 850 people. Despite its small size, it has a lot of interesting background to it, including a shared name with the South American country. Originally known as Northern Berkshire Township No. 2, which also included all of Hinsdale and part of Midfield, it was originally named as Partridge Field in 1771. The town eventually split up into the three towns of Hinsdale, Peru, and Middlefield. The name was officially changed to Peru in 1806 because, on the suggestion of the Reverend John Leland, quote, "It is like the Peru of South America, a mountain town," end quote. According to the United States Census Bureau, the town of Peru has a total area of 26 square miles. It lies on the eastern border of Berkshire County and is bordered by several small towns: Windsor to the north, Cummington to the northeast, Worthington to the east, Middlefield to the south, Washington to the southwest, and Hinsdale to the west. It also has the highest mean altitude in Massachusetts. And along with Windsor, it is only one of two municipalities in Berkshire County with a mean elevation of above 2,000 feet. And it has the highest town center in Berkshire County. The only lake in Peru is the privately owned Garnet Lake, and it contains the Garnet Mountain Monument. This is a tribute to the 16 World War II soldiers who were killed in training when their plane crashed on Garnet Peak on August 15, 1942. It was one of the worst aviation disasters in military history, when 16 members of the Air Force died in the crash on 2,200-foot Garnet Peak on their way to Providence, Rhode Island. The group of mostly paratroopers had been training in night jumping before leaving Fort Bragg, North Carolina. In terms of its education system, Peru is part of the Central Berkshire Regional School and shares many schools with Dalton, including Craneville Elementary School, Nesicus Middle School, and Wacona High School. Peru also gives us the answer to this episode's trivia question. As a reminder, this episode's question was, which Peru, Massachusetts native was the first Massachusetts woman to be admitted to any district medical society? The answer is Seraph Frizzell. She was born in Peru in 1840 and was always interested in the medical field. Because of her gender, however, she had to work twice as hard to get accepted into society. She graduated from the University of Michigan in 1875 at the age of 35 with degrees in medicine and surgery. The next year, she opened up an office in Pittsfield, and in 1885 became a member of the Hampden County Medical Society. This made her the first woman in Western Massachusetts to be admitted to any district medical society, as well as the first to open up her own practice. Sarah Frizzell is one of the most important women in the medical field of all time, and it all started in the tiny town of Peru. Before getting into this episode's movie portion of WWHEN, there is some important news regarding the strikes that have impacted Hollywood this year. First, the good news. The writer's strike ended early October. Late night shows, talk shows, and sketch shows such as Saturday Night Live have resumed filming, and writers are now free to resume work on movie and TV projects. The bad news. The actors' strike is still ongoing. It is unclear how long the actors' strike will continue. As a result, Hollywood is still in a shutdown mode. Fall television is basically non-existent, and game shows and reruns are the norm. Stay tuned to WWHEN for when the actors' strike ends. Switching gears now from negative Hollywood news to positive Hollywood news, it's now time for this episode's movie portion of WWHEN. This episode, we're going to be reviewing the latest Transformers film. This one is called Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I won't be talking about the plot of this movie in full because of spoilers, but also how vast and complicated the plot is to describe. As a result, we're going to skip to what I thought of the movie. In previous episodes of WWHEN, I called the previous Transformers film, Bumblebee, one of RT's favorite films because of how much of a breath of fresh air it was. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts is just as good and should be a contender for RT's favorite films in the future. The fight scenes are really good. It has a good sense of being a period piece. This one takes place in the 90s and has some great music for it. And the human characters are strong as well. It seems like the directors of Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts were in communication with producer and former director Michael Bay serving as the go-between. Transformers used to be a very polarizing series, but now it is firmly in the driver's seat. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, I give Transformers: Rise of the Beasts a 9. That ends this episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. If you would like to watch this or any other WWHEN episode again, you can visit Pittsfield TV's and CTSB TV's websites shown here, or visit NBCTC's Facebook page. Also, if you would like to see the episodes in HD quality, make sure to check out my YouTube page at RT Wehry. Thank you.